Hey, what's up? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA, and I'm back for another prediction video. I'm going to be breaking down UFC 268. We're going to do a recap of UFC 267, the bets I had on that, and then we're going to break down this great card for UFC 268. So for UFC 267 recap, on bets, I went 4-1 with a profit of 8.7 units. It was a great week. It was almost an awesome week. Almost went 5-0. But my bets, the wins were Amanda Ribas, who I thought was a lock, especially for the price. 2.1 units to win 1.5. I had Laron Murphy and Alexander Volkov parlay, 4 units to win 3 units. I had Murphy and Kazmat, 4 units to win 2.3 units on that parlay. And then I had Ribas, Ankalaev, and Kazmat, 2 units to win 3.9 units. That was a 3-fight parlay, and I'd put that in like 3-4 weeks ago, and got Kazmat at actually minus 360. Obviously, he went up to minus 600, so that was pretty good. The loss was the Volkov fight will not go the distance, and it went the distance. That was a great fight. There's a couple times I thought Volkov had him hurt, but I was still happy just to get the win with Volkov. He finished out one of my bigger parlays. So yeah, I went 4-1 plus 8.7 units. I've done 6 videos so far for my official bets that I've given out. 23-5 with a profit of $3,380, 33.8 units. So we're gonna keep that going here on UFC 268. Let's get into that. I got 7 bets for this card. It's a great card. We got 2 title fights. We got Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje. Just a lot of good fights, and like I said, I actually got 7 bets on this card. I usually do about 5 bets, but I feel like I saw some places I can make some money, and yeah, let's get into it. We got Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington. We got weili Zhang versus Rose Namajunas, and then like I said, we got Gaethje versus Chandler. We got Burgos versus Corantillo, and we got Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Vera, which I think are all going to be great fights. But first fight of the night, we got Melicbaghdasarian versus Bruno Souza. Melicbaghdasarian is 6-1, and he's minus 300. Bruno Souza is 10-1, and he is plus 240 right now. And I don't know. I watched some video on Bruno Souza. I don't think he's all that great. He got taken down by Matt Hamill, held down, beat up for 2.5 rounds till like he took like a little baby shot to the back of the head, and he ended up quitting, getting a DQ win. And Melicbaghdasarian is a bad dude, man. You seen on the Contender Series, he was bad. He beat up Bazooka. That was a great fight. It looked like he had a little cardio issues, but he ended up coming back, fighting the 3rd round, super tough. Came out and fought Colin Anglin for his first fight in the UFC, and just beat him up. Got him with the head kick in the 2nd round. So yeah, like I said, I'm not impressed with Bruno Souza at all. He's coming in on late replacement, short notice. So give me Melicbaghdasarian. I'm gonna take him by a 1st or 2nd round knockout. I got him in a nice parlay. We'll get to that when it finishes off. Second fight of the night, we got Phil Hawes versus Chris Curtis. Phil Hawes is 11-2. He's minus 315 right now. We got Chris Curtis is 26-8, and he's plus 255. This should be a good fight. Both these guys are good. Phil Hawes, though, is going to be a little bigger. Chris Curtis usually fights at 170, so Phil Hawes is going to have that little size advantage. And then, like, Chris Curtis is good everywhere. He's well-rounded. He's got good power standing up. He's got, like, decent jiu-jitsu. His takedown defense seems not that great, though. I think if Phil Hawes wants to take him down in this fight, he could take him down at will. Phil Hawes definitely has better wrestling. He has better power. Like I said, he should be the bigger man. I'm gonna take Phil Hawes by decision. Because Chris Curtis is tough. I think he'll be able to stay out of like the big power shots, and he should be able to not get submitted. So yeah, give me Phil Hawes. He's a big favorite, but give me him. He's actually gonna finish out my parlay with Baghdasaryan. I got them 2 in a 2-fight parlay, 3 units to win 3 units to win 2.3 units. And like I said, that should be a good fight. I got him by decision. I got Phil Hawes by decision. Third fight is John Allen versus Dustin Jacoby. This is a short notice fight too, late replacement for John Allen got Dustin Jacoby as a late replacement. I didn't do that much background on it, but I've seen both these guys fight. And I'm gonna definitely take Dustin Jacoby. I think he should be able to get a first or a second round knockout. He's got really good hands. He's long, big, great kickboxing, and I think John Allen's he might try a takedown or two like he did against Mike Rodriguez. But like I said, I think that Dustin Jacoby will be able to shake that off, be able to land some big shots and finish him. John Allen hasn't fought for a long time, and give me the more active Dustin Jacoby. I got him in a parlay also. I'll finish that off when we get to that one. Next fight number 4 is John Vellante versus Chris Barnett. John Vellante is 17-13. He's minus 115. Chris Barnett is 21-7. He's minus 115. This is gonna be a sloppy heavyweight fight. I got a bet on Chris Barnett. I'm going to take Chris Barnett to win, and it's really more fading John Vellante, man. He's looked terrible like his last 5 fights. His only win in his last 5 fights is against Ed Herman, and he shouldn't even have got that. That was like a bad call. He's just looked terrible, especially up at heavyweight. Chris Barnett looked good last fight, coming in on short notice, fought Big Ben Rothwell. He was way undersized and still had a decent showing. I mean, went life and death with Rothwell there for a round and a half before he ended up getting choked out. But yeah, I just, like I said, I'm more fading John Vellante. I think he's only fighting because they're in New York. That's his home state, and they put him on the card. He must have had like 1 fight left on his contract. But yeah, give me Chris Barnett, and I actually have a bet on Chris Barnett. I bet 1.75 units to win 1.5 units. So 1.75 units to win 1.5 units. Like I said, I think he'll be more active, land the bigger strikes. He's got pretty good movement. So give me him by decision over John Vellante. John Vellante retires. Fight number 5 is CJ Bagura versus Ode Osborne. CJ Bagura is 9-2-1. Ode Osborne is 9-4. And this is going to be a good fight. I expect a lot of action, a lot of crazy action both ways. You just seen CJ Bagura on the Contender Series when he beat up, what was his name? Bruno something. But Bruno Correa. He beat up Bruno Correa with the knees to the body, knees to the face, showed a lot of power, very aggressive. But he's going to be fighting Ode Osborne, who super good. He's huge for 125. He was just fighting at 145 a couple months ago. He looked great against Manel Cape until he got caught with that flying knee. But, I mean, his boxing, everything looked great. He's got decent wrestling, good jiu-jitsu. I'm going to take Ode Osborne in this fight. I think it's going to be, like I said, a crazy violent fight for that first round. But Ode's got reach advantage, a little size advantage, and I believe he's going to have wrestling and grappling advantage if it goes to that. So as long as Ode doesn't get caught, give me Ode by second round club and sub. And I do have a bet on Ode. I got 1.5 units to win 0.95 units. He was minus 160, and I put 1.5 units on him. So yeah, give me Ode Osborne. Next fight is Jordan Williams versus Iangary. Jordan Williams is 9-5. He's currently plus 300. Iangary is 7-0, and he's currently minus 360. This is going to be a good fight. Jordan Williams is tough. He's well-rounded. He's got good striking. He's got decent wrestling, decent jiu-jitsu. He's got decent power. I've seen him knock out Gregory Rodriguez on the Contender Series. They look great. But really, since he's been to UFC versus Nazardin Imabov, and he didn't look that great. But he looked terrible against Mickey Gall. Mickey Gall beat him up, standing, took him to the ground and choked him out, but dropped him a couple times before that. Iangary's nice. I watched a couple of his fights over in England, Cage Warriors, and he's got great stand-up. He's very tall, very long. He's got good 1-2s, good power. He's got good takedowns. He's just well-rounded everywhere. And he's going to be a lot bigger than Jordan Williams. Jordan Williams has diabetes, so I guess it's hard for him to cut weight all the time. So he's usually fighting bigger guys, but I think that affects his cardio and everything. But yeah, I'm not betting this fight. I want to see how Iangary actually does in the UFC before I start betting him, especially as a giant favorite like that. But give me Iangary by second round TKO, and pretty good fight. It should be good for that first round and a half. Fight number 7, Andreas Mikulas versus Alex Pereira. You got Mikulas. He's 13-4. He's currently plus 195. Alex Pereira is 3-1. He's currently minus 250. If you watch anything about combat sports, you know Alex Pereira, great kickboxer. He's got 2 wins over Israel Adesanya, 1 decision, 1 by knockout. So that's how everybody knows his name. He's huge. He's a 6'4", 80-inch reach. The guy's super huge, long, great striking. But all of his experience is in kickboxing. He's only got 3 MMA fights. He's going to be fighting Andreas Mikulas, who's 13-4 in MMA, which is a good record, especially for light heavyweight. Mikulas has decent striking. He's got decent leg kicks. He's got decent boxing. He's got decent wrestling, as we've seen in his last fight versus KB Bueller. Good jiu-jitsu. He's got some submissions on his record. This is going to be a good fight. Anytime it's standing, it's going to be dangerous. Alex Pereira, I mean, he's going to be dangerous standing for sure. And if his takedown defense is better than I think it is, he's going to win. But I'm going to go ahead and take Andreas Mikulas by a boring decision. I think he's going to be able to grapple him down. I think he's going to be able to use some jiu-jitsu. I don't know if he'll finish him or not, but yeah, I don't know. I got to see Pereira do something, especially laying big chalk as minus 250 favorite. So yeah, give me Mikulas by a boring decision. I'm not going to bet this fight. I'm curious to see how Pereira does in the UFC though. Next fight is fight number 8. It's going to be a good fight. We got Al Iaquinta versus Bobby Green. Al Iaquinta is 14-6-1. Sorry, Al Iaquinta is 14-6-1. He's currently plus 140. Bobby Green is 27-12-1, and he's currently minus 170. 2 veterans. This is going to be a good fight. Both these guys are well-rounded. They both got good boxing, but that's basically what both of them do is boxing. I'll give the kicks to Bobby Green, but yeah, I'll give the wrestling advantage probably in grappling to Bobby Green too. He seems a little more physical. Al Iaquinta hasn't fought for a couple years, so I think a little over 2 years. And the last couple times he's fought, he's looked terrible. He looked terrible against Cowboy. He looked terrible against Dan Hooker. I don't know. I think this is going to be a back and forth fight. I think it's going to be another one of them Bobby Green split decisions. Al Iaquinta's good at getting in split decisions too. So give me Bobby Green by a close split decision. I'm not betting this fight, but I do like Bobby Green. I would like to bet it. I think the odds should be a little closer. And plus with both these guys, it's going to go to a split decision, and you never know what judges we're going to have. But yeah, give me Bobby Green by a close decision. No bets. Fight number 9 is Edmond Shahbazian versus Nazardin Imabov, and this should be a great fight, especially in that first round for sure. Both these guys, we'll go Edmond Shahbazian's 11-2, and he's currently minus 105. Nazardin Imabov is 10-3, and he's currently minus 125. Edmond Shahbazian's great kickboxing, great boxing and kickboxing. In the first round, he's got decent wrestling himself. If he wants to use it. He's got great ground and pound. Nazardin Imabov, he's another Russian guy, fights out of France, but he's from like the Dagestan area. He's got good striking, great striking. He's got decent wrestling. We haven't seen it too much in UFC, more defensive wrestling. But he's good all around, good power. He's going to be a little bit bigger than Edmond Shahbazian. He's 6'3" with the 75-inch reach. Shahbazian 6'2" with the 74-inch reach. But yeah, this fight should be wild in the first round and then slow down a little bit more in the second and third. But I expect Nazardin Imabov to take over. He could get a third round finish, but I like him for a third round finish or decision. Not betting this fight because, like I said, if it just stays standing, Edmond Shahbazian might not gas out standing, but it's just the grappling. And if Imabov don't choose to grapple, he could get knocked out for that. But if he does, I expect him to wear on Shahbazian a little bit. And like I say, I'm gonna predict him by decision, Imabov by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if he could get a third round finish. Fight number 10. This is gonna be a great fight. We got Shane Burgos versus Billy Corantillo. Shane Burgos is 13-3, and he's currently minus 200. Billy Corantillo is 16-3, and he's currently plus 160. This is going to be a great fight. Both these guys are well-rounded. They're both semi-veterans. Both got a lot of fights in the game. They both like do the same thing. Good boxing, good kicks. They both got good wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Burgos don't usually use offensive wrestling too much. Burgos is going to have a little size advantage in this fight. He's 5'10" with the 70-inch reach. I mean, he's 5'11" with the 75.5-inch reach, where Billy Corantillo is 5'10" with the 70-inch reach. So he's going to have a 5.5-inch reach, and that's going to help him a lot in this fight because I think this fight's going to stay standing. Billy Corantillo, I don't think he's going to be able to get it to the ground. he just seems usually in fights where he fights anybody bigger than him, it seems like he's kind of at a strength disadvantage. Like against well, I mean, even Spike Carlisle is just like more muscular than him. He's kind of throwing him around. Uh, Guy out of Canada too, was doing that to him. Ended up beating him up pretty good. Can't remember his name. Gavin Tucker. But yeah, this is gonna be a great fight. Like I said, all 3 rounds. I expect Shane Burgos to win a decision, a tough decision. Like I said, just being the bigger man, I expect him to defend all the takedowns and be able to keep it standing where he should be able to beat up Billy Corantillo. Good fight though. Like I said, Burgos starts slow, so Corantillo might even be able to steal that first round. But once Burgos starts to get his damage on Corantillo and slow him down a little bit, he's gonna take over. But yeah, give me Shane Burgos by decision, and he's actually finishing out my parlay with Dustin Jacoby. I have 2 units to win 2.1 units. I got a little plus money on that. I got Dustin Jacoby at minus 270, where now he's minus all the way up to like 350. So yeah, I like that Shane Burgos with Dustin Jacoby parlay. Yep, Shane Burgos by decision was the fight. All right, so now we're gonna move on to fight number 11. We got Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Vera. Frankie Edgar's 24-9-1. Marlon Vera's 19-7-1. Marlon Vera's minus 170. Frankie Edgar's plus 140. This is gonna be a great fight. We're gonna get to see where Frankie Edgar's at in his career. I mean, he's 40 years old, but he hasn't looked really 40 in his last couple fights. The Sandhagen fight, I mean, it's hard to count that towards anything because that would have knocked anybody out. But he looked good in the Munoz fight. Marlon Vera, he's been looking good. Got that good win over Sean O'Malley. Had that last win was a great win. I forget who that was over to. I'll get to that. But yeah, this fight's going to be good. What it's going to be is Frankie Edgar's. I think he's going to be able to use a lot of movement. They're in a bigger cage. Use a lot of movement, throw Vera off, come in with his boxing, burst in, burst out. But I believe that he's going to be able to hit takedowns on Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera's takedown defense hasn't looked great in any of his fights in the UFC. He always starts slow, likes to come back in the 3rd round and take over. But from what we've seen from Frankie Edgar, he doesn't really ever just gas out. So I'm actually going to take Frankie Edgar on this fight by decision. I put a bet in on him at plus 145. I put 1.25 units to win 1.8 units. And yeah, I don't know. I just hope this ain't the fight that Frankie turns way old, but he's been fighting the best in the world for a long time. And I just don't really consider Marlon Vera that. Like, Marlon Vera is good, but I just don't think that he's up there with with Sandhagen and all them guys. So yeah, give me Frankie Edgar by decision. Like I said, it's going to be a crazy fight. For all 3 rounds, 3rd round is going to get interesting, but I don't see Vera finishing Frankie Edgar, and I definitely don't see him outboxing him or out wrestling him. So give me Frankie Edgar by decision and a great fight. I can't wait to watch that fight. All right, fight number 12 is Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. Justin Gaethje's 22-3, and he's currently sitting at minus 200. Michael Chandler's 22-6, and he's currently sitting at plus 170. This is going to be a great fight. I mean, it's really, it's like a tale of 2 fights. It's like, is Michael Chandler going to be able to finish Justin Gaethje in that 1st or 2nd round and wear him down, put a lot of damage on him? Or is Gaethje going to be able to catch Chandler in that first couple rounds or take over, in that 3rd round, get him with all them leg kicks? But I don't know. I think that with this just being a 3-round fight, I think this is going to favor Michael Chandler because I believe Michael Chandler, after watching that last fight with Gaethje versus Khabib, I mean, I know it's Khabib, but man, nobody's ever tried to take Gaethje down in the UFC really and use any jiu-jitsu or anything, so we didn't know what he had. But Khabib took him down and went through his jiu-jitsu like butter. Like, literally, he looked like a white belt. So I don't know. I think Chandler's going to be able to out-wrestle Gaethje for sure. And if he can get him down and hold him down for them first 2 rounds, I think that'll tire Gaethje out. I think defensive wrestling and just grappling would definitely help him keep Gaethje from throwing all his leg kicks, throwing his power shots, his hooks, and all that stuff. And just I don't know, man. I think that I'm not betting this fight. I'm gonna watch it as a fan. But if I did, I'd throw like some Hail Mary prop on Chandler by KO. But I really do see Michael Chandler winning this fight. I think he could win by KO. I think he could win by decision. I think Gaethje is the one because I don't know. It's going to be a good fight. Both these guys are just going to come together and just be banging it out. Like I said, the edge is what I'm going to give it to Chandler in wrestling. And because Chandler's got good wrestling, he's got good cardio, he's got good jiu-jitsu. So, yeah, give me Michael Chandler. I'm not, like I said, I'm not betting it, but give me Michael Chandler. I'm going to take him actually by decision. I'm going to take him to wrestle Justin Gaethje and grind this one out, actually. So, yeah, Michael Chandler by decision. All right, we're up to the main event, co-main event. Well, one of the two title fights. We got Rose versus weili. This is gonna be a great fight, rematch. Rose Namajunas is 10-4. Weili Zhang is 21-2. Like I said, this is a rematch from maybe like 6-8 months ago when they fought, and Rose hit her with that crazy head kick out of nowhere in the first round, like a minute in. So we really didn't get to see anything about these two girls in that fight. But this fight though, I think it's going to be another great fight. I don't think it's going to end quick. Excuse me. I think this is going to be more of a war fight. I think the first couple rounds, because both these girls are well-rounded everywhere. I don't really need to explain what they're good at. Rose, range striking well. He likes to get in tight, work in a clinch. She's very strong, but I think this fight is going to come down to Rose maybe being able to pepper up weili in the first like round and two, just kind of like she did with Andrade, pepper her up for that first round or two. But weili is going to be getting her little damage in and stuff, and I just figure it's going to be like the Andrade fight. I feel like weili is going to keep weighing on Rose. She's super strong. She's training with Henry Cejudo and them now, and I think that's a great move. I think Henry Cejudo is going to end up being one of the greatest coaches in the game. If you watch any of his videos of him just working with people, training people, I mean, he really knows what he's talking about. And I think that he's definitely going to help weili a lot in this fight. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really tough fight, really back and forth. But like I said, weili is going to be weighing on Rose. And if she can survive that first and second round, I think she can take over that third, fourth, and fifth and win a grimy decision in a great fight. So yeah, give me Weili Zhang by decision. I got a bet. I went and put 2.2 units to win 2 units on weili. Like I said, last time she was minus like up to 200 by the end, and this time I'm gonna get her at even money, and I'm gonna say that lucky knockout doesn't happen again this time. They have a five round war, and Weili Zhang takes it. And now we're to the main event. We got the rematch. This is gonna be awesome. We got Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. Kamaru Usman's 19-1. Colby Covington is 16-2. Kamaru Usman is minus 300, and Colby Covington was plus 240. Crazy odds. I mean, crazy odds. I know. Usman has looked great in his last couple fights since then, and Colby looked great against Tyron Woodley. But that was 2-2 going into the fifth, and supposedly Colby had that broken jaw. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how he's that big of an underdog, and how Kamaru, just because he has looked great lately, but it was 2-2 going into that fifth round. Both these guys are great everywhere, great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu. They're both big, they're both strong. They both got great striking. Colby throws more strikes, but Kamaru's been hitting harder. But their first fight was awesome. I mean, all they was doing was slanging leather the whole fight. From the first 10 seconds of the opening round, they was just throwing leather. It's really one of the best welterweight fights, or fights period, you're ever going to see. Both the dudes are great at wrestling. Neither one of them shot. I think this time it's going to change. I think this time Colby knows he needs to switch something up. So maybe I think he's going to try to shoot a little bit and see if that'll work. I'm not sure if it's gonna or not. I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna say that this fight is gonna be another war, back and forth, all 5 rounds. Give me Kamaru Usman by close, grimy decision, possibly even split decision. But I just think it's gonna be a great fight. I can't wait to see it. To be honest, I mean, my heart wants Colby Covington to win. So and just a great fight, and then so they can have a third trilogy fight. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Kamaru Usman, landing some harder shots, landing that stiff jab that he's got, and just making it a good, tough, grimy fight. Kamaru might even land a takedown or two, but yeah, give me Kamaru in a tough, grimy decision. I do have a bet on this fight. I put it in like a week and a half ago, so I got the over at 2.5. I have 1.5 units to win 0.95 units. It was minus 160. I put 1.5 units on it. But yeah, hopefully, man, we just get a great fight again. One of the best fights ever. The first one. Let's get another great fight on the second one. Yeah, them are my predictions for this card. Here's my bets. These are my official bets. I got weili Zhang. I got Frankie Edgar. I got Ode Osborne. I got Chris Barnett. I got Phil Hawes and Melicbaghdasarian parlay. I got Shane Burgos, Dustin Jacoby parlay. And I got the Colby Covington over 2.5 rounds. Um, like I said, we've been doing great. If you could like and subscribe this video, that would be awesome. I want to keep making a bunch of these videos, keep doing it. I wanted to get this video out earlier, but I work a full-time job. I work at Ford. I'm not like a professional gambler or nothing. I just do this for fun. I've been winning money, so I figured I would help other people out to win money. Like I said, I've been watching the other guys do their breakdown shows for years, and I just decided I'd start mine. That's why my production ain't that good. I'm really trying to look for somebody to help me. I'd like to do breakdowns with. If I can find somebody, because I don't have any of my friends that are good enough that have been watching UFC for the last 4 years that are actually good enough to break down every fight with me. So when I can do that, that's gonna help me out a lot. I think it'll be a lot funner. I can have a lot more fun, bust some more jokes and stuff. I also want to give a shout out to BCS Express. He's in my comments all the time, commenting back and forth with me. Really smart guy, and I want to thank him for time stamping my videos the last couple weeks. I really appreciate that, man. That's awesome. You take your time out of your day to do that for me. And yeah, let's win some more money. Like I said, man, since I started these videos, 23-5 for plus $3,380, which is pretty awesome. I didn't even really expect that. But I've been doing this for a while, but I just started keeping track of everything lately. So, but yeah, I can't wait to see these fights, man. It's gonna be some great fights again, 14 of them. Let's win some more money, and I'll see you guys back here next week. See you guys later, man. You have a good one.